Hello. What's up, people? Who wants to come up? So who we got here? Two people, or me and somebody else? Don't be shy. Come on, type in the chat. Is there anybody out there? Gotta adjust the camera. That's better. Done with freaks. What's up, buddy? How you doing, man? Waiting for people to show up. Can't post a link on Andrews or get timed out, so I just typed over there, hey, I'm starting a live stream. If you actually want to talk about something. Yeah, I was mad a little bit earlier today. Oh, you're a mod over there? Cool. Ed Ramirez, what's up, buddy? This is weird. I'm getting the notifications in YouTube before StreamYards. But hey, what the hell? Yeah, it's just, yeah, the links, I already put them in there. At least the ones that I'm in. But yeah, it's like just fed up with today all around. Need a break from all the craziness. So if you're what the hell, I'll start a live panel. I haven't done one in a while. It's crazy. There, you're a mod. And you're a mod. I just made you two guys mods. Enjoy. Oops. Yeah, I'm on YouTube right now. Hi, Teresa.
Hi, Sasquatch. How are you doing?
Oh, I'm not paying attention, that's for sure.
I was back here for like a minute and a half.
I'm sorry.
No, I'm joking.
Well, the messages are coming faster over YouTube than they are in StreamYard, which is really weird.
I
You
had
know,
to go to YouTube. I had to open the window for
Golden
the stream.
Eyes. Hello. Wow,
Are
there are all kinds of people jumping in here.
you tired of politics already today? This has been so interesting. I'm
Oh my
fascinated with it.
God. Felipe
I don't,
came into Discord today.
what did he say about it? I was going to jump in the voice.
He
I've been
didn't know about all of this shit that went on in Georgia. And I'm just like, are you fucking kidding me? Oh, there wasn't no fraud. What? They were pulling ballots out from underneath the table and they got it on film. But yeah.
I know. Well, I mean, it's been unfolding for quite some time. I don't know. I mean, I haven't paid too much attention, but I guess there was somebody organized a rally today, and I didn't even know it was happening. And they had some auditors, I guess, this morning that were live from Washington D.C. And I thought, what are they doing there? And then I was watching this video about, I don't know, telling you about this astrologer that I've been watching his videos and stuff. And I was watching a video he made like on, I don't know, January the 3rd, and he was making these predictions, and I'm watching these predictions that he's making, and I look over to my TV and all the stuff is going on in Washington, D.C. that he's talking about in his predictions 4 days ago. It was really weird. So I've been super fascinated with it all day.
Well, it wouldn't be hard to figure out. Of course, they'd come down on the Trump supporters while they let Black Lives Matter and Antifa burn cities down. But Trump supporters who are being peaceful, they come out with tear gas and pepper bullets. Yeah.
Yeah, that that was one of the big I guess debates today was, that the left was okay with people being so upset, I guess, over police brutality and some of the other protests that they've had over the last, months and months. And I guess the right,
which some of it is legit. I mean,
some of that was, yeah, some of it is. Well, I mean, it's been a good while back, and I remember I was talking to my husband one night about this, and I think it was, it's been a good while. I think it was whenever they had that couple that those Sovsits, I guess they had maybe gone to the city hall and shot some people, and then they ended up, I don't know, at a restaurant and they shot some more people. This has been like maybe 6 years or so ago. And I was telling my husband, the government really needs to take a look at why these people are so angry. And my husband was like, these people are crazy, screw those people. But I was like, really, I mean, we've got to take a look at why people are so, so angry that they would go and start just murdering people and stuff. Whether you think they're wackos or not, I'm sure there's extreme people out there that are going to react the way, those people did. But then you have just regular people that are fed up and look at how, they're reacting in DC, how upset they are, how angry they are. And yet, the government's not so much worried about what it is that's causing people to be so angry. It's just more like, you need to follow the political process and blah, blah. You know what I mean?
Yeah. It's, I mean, Trump did not get a fair shake. They had no evidence, and yet they tried to impeach him. But here we got evidence, affidavits, and all that, and they and the courts refused to look at it. I mean, what the fuck?
Well, and it's not just this election. The same thing happened with, like, remember when Al Gore was in office, and it all kind of boils down to, at the end of the day in these elections that are so contested, it all sort of boils down to, what the court wants to hear and what they don't want to hear. And you know what I mean? At the end of the day, the only recourse you have is to take it to court, or what? What is it? What's the other
Go to
choice?
the streets is the only other choice. Hello,
There,
Cookman.
what is this? There's no other choice. You gotta follow the political process, and that means that over the next 20 years, you have to vote out all these people. I mean, that's crazy. Yeah. I mean, I know that's the way it's supposed to. That's the way it sort of goes, but apparently, to keep the Americans' attention for 20 years to try to drain the swamp or whatever they need to do is impossible because they keep us so divided.
Yeah, I'd have to agree with that. Oh yeah, I mean, it seems to me that there's even election fraud in this last one in Georgia. I mean, they use the same damn machines. I mean, how fucking stupid is that? I should have went to paper fucking ballots, and then everybody vote in person. Period.
Well, this whole election was mapped out, a year or so ago.
Oh, yeah, I'm sure.
They set all of this in place over the course of a long time while we weren't really paying attention, and the people were talking about it,
Well,
voter ID and all of that stuff, and it
well,
goes
they
one ear and out the other.
in Georgia they changed it right at the last couple of months, and instead of going through the legislature like the Georgia Constitution says they're supposed to, they don't.
Yeah.
Secretary of State Stacey Abrams, who, by the way, her sister, district court judge, who said that they had no standing.
They're all tied together.
I mean, oh my God. And yeah, there's no evidence of fraud there. But yeah, it blew me away that Hemming didn't know all this stuff. I mean,
well, it depends on what news you watch, and then a lot of us don't watch news anymore. And
I can understand not watching the news. I mean, even Fox is as bad as all the rest of them now.
It's hard to interpret what's real and what's not. It really is to me. I mean, to watch the news and what is real and what's not. Well, I mean, I was talking about this earlier. Fox was all freaked out, whenever they stole the election, and now today they're like, to me, it seems like they've just kind of turned their back on the whole thing. Oh well,
well, even before
the election was stolen, but we've got to follow the political process, and it just, to me,
the night of the election, they calling states as soon as they showed up. I mean, they called Arizona as soon as they opened their polls. They called it. I mean, what?
Yeah. So were they? And everybody say that, well, Fox is just a talking piece for Donald Trump. Well, were they a talking piece for Donald Trump or what? So nothing is ever what it seems anymore in news and media, and I hate to even try to interpret it. That's why I don't watch it as much as I used to. I've been watching it all day, though. I've been watching, the reports and stuff all day.
Yeah. And now that the Democrats have got control, all three fucking branches of our government, guess what, people? More taxes, more regulations. Yeah.
I keep saying
here comes the socialism.
They better come through with our $2,000, and they better do something about legalizing marijuana across the country.
They will give us our $2,000, but they're going to tax us $8,000 for that $2,000.
Well, I guess I'll invest my $2,000. Maybe I could buy myself a politician. How much do they go for?
It won't be a very good
one. Though, huh? We need $5,000 a piece.
You need a few more zeros on the end of that.
We need enough stimulus to buy a politician, please.
Oh my God.
What did you do all day, Sass? Did you just watch? Did you do like
Uh,
me and just watch the news?
no, no, I shut it off. I took a nap for a while, and
I napped too. I napped about the time the police were coming in, and when I woke up, they had everything under control.
and
Allegedly under control. I don't know. I don't
I,
believe anything I see on TV anymore.
I went into town today and actually saw Civilization because I had to get some more juice for my vape machine, and went to
I had to get out this morning too.
bought some
I didn't go
bought
too
some
far.
chicken legs, and
Is that for you bought the chicken legs for the,
no, they were for me. They were
oh,
fried chicken legs.
oh yeah,
I went to a store for lunch.
the grocery store?
No, one of them fast food places.
Oh, nifty, nifty.
I mean, I got my stimulus, so I had
Well,
money
yeah,
to spend.
that's right. It's a big day. A lot of people got their stimulus this weekend. I did. I got
And
mine, and Ross
I
got
bought
his.
I bought shirts. I got me what I think six shirts, t-shirts. I got 4 pair of underwear coming. Uh, I bought a salt and pepper shaker, well
Oh,
meal,
that's nice. Oh, that's
because
nice.
um, the ones that I got for Christmas several years ago are already all worn out because they were all plastic. So
Oh, you got some good metal ones this time?
yes,
Metal? Good, good, good.
metal
Those
and
are nice to
ceramic.
have.
So
They're nice to have. I went through a phase of buying my father those for Christmas. Pepper mill and a salt grinder with the sea salt. He used to cook, but he hasn't been feeling well. He doesn't cook too much anymore. I don't think he's cooked in probably 2 years or so. But I know when I go over to his house, I've got I open the cabinet there and they've got all those pepper grinders up there that I bought him over the years.
hey, those look
All
familiar.
kinds of salt, all kinds of different sea salts and black salts and all kind of shit he's seen on TV he wanted.
Yeah. Well, you can even use those to grind herbs and stuff. It all depends what you
Oh
want to
yeah.
put in it.
I used to have a coffee grinder. I tried grinding some herbs in it one time and it made it like dust and it was a mess. So it's
Yeah.
it's not for every herb.
No. No. I got an actual herb chopper that I bought. It's like a food processor, but it's just a little tiny small one. Works pretty good.
My friend Kevin gave me this super nice food processor that I have here. Cindy Renee, Mrs. Potts. I wonder if that's the one that likes me or the one that doesn't like me. One that hates
It's
me.
probably a sock.
I think that's the real Cindy. I recognize the pot. I don't know. Let's see what she says. We'll see if
Is
it's
she
which
coming
one
up?
it is.
Come
Is it
on
the
up.
good Cindy or the bad Cindy?
Who's the you got after David's? What the hell does that mean? Please explain.
The After Davids?
Narcissist hunter. What the hell does that mean?
Look how that word empathy is highlighted
Where?
on his avatar. Empathy. You see it?
Yeah. Oh.
And underneath is the word understanding.
Feelings. Feelers.
He's probably an old soul. Reincarnated 400 times.
Yeah. Maybe.
Yeah, how about that, Cindy, fake or real? I'm not sure which. They shut
Freedom
down.
of speech there, huh?
Yeah, they shut down his whole Twitter account for what, 12 hours? Is it 12 hours? Is that how Twitter does it? Is it for just hours there? Because Facebook is
Yeah.
usually like a
That's what
day or whatever.
Tarkman wrote that earlier.
I forgot what I don't know, Fox was showing the tweet. Apparently he made several tweets, but one in particular that violated the YouTube terms of service. I'm gonna see if I can find it. Maybe we can show it. I don't know. Will that get us in trouble?
I'm not according to me. Taze, what's up, buddy? Come on up, Cindy. Golden, done with freaks. I know Taze won't come up. There's Cindy.
I'm working on it.
I didn't
Do
make
you
her.
just call me a freak?
Who? No, I said done with freaks. He's in the
You said
chat.
something about a freak.
Yeah, right here.
Oh, I thought you called me a freak.
No.
I
You want me
can't find
to?
the tweet.
They shut down Trump's Twitter account because of so many misinformations he was putting out.
Yeah, right.
You can't put out so much misinformation, and then they shut it down.
This is my favorite picture so far. I'm ashamed. I can't find the tweet. I'm going to keep looking though.
Takes the speaking dice.
He looks really happy too. Hey everybody! You know what?
Y'all can't fucking talk anymore.
They had that guy with the horns on too at the speaker.
Yeah.
You know, at the speaker position. Let's see if I can find that picture too. That was kind of funny.
No, he's at the president of the Senate position.
Yes. What is that? Where
When
the
you
BT
keep
stand?
writing that Trump won the election, and they have to keep crossing out that that's misinformation, they kind of get tired of it. They will mark.
It's not
What?
misinformation because Trump did win the election. It was just stolen from him, and
Oh, bullshit, Sasquatch! Don't start that.
the courts refused to look at the evidence.
Oh, Sasquatch! Don't be naive.
No, I'm not naive. I saw it fucking happen, Cindy, right in front of my eyes. You don't want to get on the wrong side of me tonight, Cindy. You really don't.
Ooh, are you grumpy?
Yes, I am. I'm very grumpy.
Why are you grumpy?
Because of this bullshit that's going on right now.
Where? In the Capitol?
Yeah.
In Capitol or YouTube?
And Michigan and all those other places that have fraudulent fucking votes and didn't go through their legislature to change the fucking rules and fucking everything else that's going on right now. Yeah, I'm very testy.
Yeah, I'm with Taryn. I'm from Louisiana, and I've been around voter fraud for a long, long time. So
But see, this is what I think is hilarious. Last time, the Democrats cried and the Republicans said, "Shut up, everything was fine." This time, the Republicans are crying. So now, wait a minute. Last time, Republicans said, "Shut up." Now the Republicans are crying. Everybody can't have it their own way. Everybody cries at some point or another.
well,
But last time you didn't,
Cindy.
But no, last time you did not see Democrats storming the White House. I mean,
No,
storming
they
this Capitol.
burned down fucking cities.
Well, we didn't.
We didn't what? They burned down fucking cities. And
They've been
got
burning
away
down
with
cities
it.
for 6 months. They've been burning down cities for the last 6 months.
I don't think that it's as split down the middle as the mass media or the mainstream media would have us think. I mean, who were all those people that were there today? You know, where did they even come from? Like I said, I didn't even know that they were having a rally there today, but look at all those people that were there.
I watched one guy say that bus stations were full, airports were full, they were coming in on trains, the highways were full, they were coming in on everything.
Antifa was masquerading as Trump supporters. Yeah.
They were coming in on
Do you
everything.
think those are all, those aren't all people from the right. Those are Americans, just people, you know.
Those aren't all Antifa, these are just...
No, they're not. But Antifa was in there and they were causing shit.
But when any either group, when a group gets upset and angry, that's what happens. I was, something that I've always noticed with these protests and stuff. They're peaceful right up until they're not. They're
Right.
peaceful right up at, all it takes is one brick or, one Molotov cocktail or, all it takes is one thing to happen and it sets it off, and it's just the whole, all those people there and whatever just set something off. So when people get
But
angry
then
like that, that's what
But
happens.
then you have to think rational too. Now think about this.
Well, you
Those
do,
people
but people
those
don't
people
think
just
rational.
stormed the Capitol building. Those people just trashed stuff in the Capitol building. Now you have to think about it rationally.
Oh,
Now in 6 months.
here you go. Here you go, Cindy. So you
Now
think
wait a
protocol
minute,
never happened?
Sasquatch.
Yeah. Here's another
Think
one.
about it in
Yeah.
six
The
months
guy
when
with the
we're
horns. The guy
overseas.
with the horns that was clocked last month at a BLM protest,
No, that's not what I'm
and he
saying.
was
Think
one of the
about
first
no,
ones in the
Sasquatch,
fucking
listen to
Capitol
me.
building.
Listen to me. That's not what I'm saying. I'm saying in 6 months when people's overseas and those people overseas storm one of our embassies and we have a fit because people's unhappy and they storm our embassy, why are we going to look back and say, wait a minute, we were on our own soil, we were
That's
mad, we had a
sovereign
fit, and we
ground.
stormed our own building? See, we're starting to act like with stuff that we don't like. So what are we going to be?
Well, let me see. They've been locked up for over a year. They've watched the fucking left burn cities and get away with it. No fucking reprisals or nothing. Um, let's see. They impeached a president for no fucking reason. They had
He
all these
wasn't
other
impeached.
hearings.
He was not impeached. It was just a
He
trial.
was impeached.
There was just a trial. He never became impeached.
The Congress impeached him. The Senate cleared him. So he
But
was
still,
impeached.
he's not
It
impeached until
didn't
the
go
final
through.
trial.
But anyways, yeah, people are fucking sick of this shit. I
And
mean,
now
Actually,
people say
Cindy,
too. Now come
that's
on,
not
Sasquatch.
correct. That's
Come
not
on,
correct.
Sasquatch. Let's be serious. People say I've been locked up
you
for over
think
a
I'm
year.
not serious?
Wait a minute. But I'm saying everyone says everyone's so riled up because they've been locked up for a year. Who in their right mind has been locked up for a year? Who has been locked up? You may not be able to get certain services. Have you been in your house for 1 year?
Yes,
You have been going in and out.
rarely.
You may not get the same
Have to wear a
services,
fucking mask. I
but
mean,
I'm sorry. Who has been all the way locked up?
oh,
People are
Cindy,
starting to
wait,
use
hang on,
COVID
hang
as an
on, hang on.
excuse to be a
It's
jerk.
not it's not just that people have been locked up, but there's been lots and lots of people who have lost their jobs and their
Yes, that's
businesses over
true.
COVID. And
That's true.
with respect to especially poorer people that are that have lost their waitresses and kids that worked at the movie theater, and you can't hardly find a restaurant that you can go
small
inside of
businesses
anymore.
trying to
Small
survive.
businesses, and that affects the masses. That affects everybody. Walmart's not going out of business. They're not going out of business
Oh no,
because they have the
they're
money to
allowed
be
to
able
stay
to.
open.
They have the money to be able to withstand it and to be able to stay open and to be able to follow whatever guidelines that they stick in place. But little smaller businesses and getting your hair done and getting your nails done and all of those things are we don't do that anymore. We can't do it right now. But that's all going to end soon. I do think people are kind of stir crazy about it, and it
Correct.
sort of
People are stir crazy.
brings about a lot of anxiety in people across the country. Oh, my alarm's
It
going
does
off.
for me on my
Correct.
end.
People are stir crazy. But I'm sorry. I think even though you're stir crazy, you have to have personal responsibility. And personal responsibility, you can't say, "Well, I'm
Oh,
stir crazy. I can go out and act
so
like a
now let's
jerk."
all get along after 4 fucking years of the Democrats doing nothing but fight the president at every fucking move, and he was willing to work with them, but no, because he beat fucking Hillary. Oh my god! And that's what it was. That's what this whole fucking past 4 years has been. All these people that say that, oh, Trump is a fucking liar. Bullshit.
Well, he's not the first president who's had to fight his Congress. He's not.
Oh, he's the first one to go through this much bullshit, though. What Nixon went through was fucking nothing compared to what this guy went through. And is still going through. Yeah.
Well, you know, Nixon
lockdown.
wasn't such an honorable person himself.
No, he was a lowlife. I mean,
Also a Republican.
Yeah, Nixon. Nixon is much worse than this.
Well, yeah, because Trump didn't do anything wrong.
Nixon, you know, reinitiated our trade with China. And, you know, Trump sort of reinitiated our ties with Russia.
Well, no, not really. He put sanctions on Russia, too. But he was bringing it back home that let's take the stick out of our own eye, or the log out of our own eye, before we work on the sliver in somebody else's, you know? Let's fix our own problems first, and then we can go out and help.
I don't think anybody's too interested in fixing any problems anymore. I think, you know, everybody in politics is after power and money. Money, you know, money. That's what they want. Nothing's about fixing anything or making anything better. Everything's about making money. Even when they put in new roads, it's about, you know, lining the pockets of their friends. You know, who's going to get the contracts and how many miles of contracts can we give out to our buddies and stuff. That was something that Huey P. Long was famous for. Maybe if Freaks is still in here, you'll remember that. But, you know, when he would build things, you know, it would cost twice as much as it would, you know, was supposed to cost, because they had to line all the pockets. So, you know, a bridge that cost $1 million would cost $2.5 million in Louisiana. They want to get a lot built here. They want to
get the most money for their little section that they represent, and then the most can line their pockets while they get the most for their section.
Oh yeah, all those shovel-ready jobs. I was working the construction industry then, and I never saw any of that money get anywhere close to rebuilding the freeways. And
who was that guy?
And that's what I did for a living, was fix fucking roads. And I never saw any of that money, but by God, all the congressmen and everybody else and all their cronies sure found all that shovel-ready fucking money.
Who was that congressman?
What was it, $60 billion for shovel-ready products? And gee, that seemed to have disappeared.
He was like the Speaker of the House for a while, that guy. And then he just up and retired. He was from Ohio. Gosh, what can I think of his name? It was just a couple years ago. I'd have to look his name up. He was up here from Ohio. And he was one of the head guys. I'm telling you what, he was a jerk, but we loved him because he could bring all kinds of, we could get new roads, we could get all kinds of stuff. We got some of the dumbest things he would just bring. He could do all kinds of stuff. We had nicer roads when he was up there. But of course, we don't get that kind of money since he retired.
I've been doing all this family research here lately, and one of the ways that you do it is you go through the census. Censuses go back to, like, I don't know, 1860 or something. But in the census, you know, when you get back into the 1800s and stuff, people in my family were farmers. Farmer. You know, it just keeps going, farmer. But whenever it came time for the New Deal, when the New Deal came in, I guess that was around the 1950s or 40s, maybe. Maybe it was the 30s, I'm not sure. But after that, you see lots of people in my family that did road work. They built all these roads during the 30s and 40s from the New Deal, and it put a lot of people to work, and it brought a lot of economy, it increased the economy and stuff. And nowadays I don't know, it's not like it was back then, I guess. I'm sure they were lining their pockets and stuff, but the New Deal brought a lot of it made the economy stronger, and then to go into World War II.
And that's when Social Security came around,
They
and
didn't.
it was good while the government kept their greedy
Yeah.
little hands out of it. It would have been, I mean, it'd have been solvent for
Right up
everybody
until we had the
forever
federal banking system or something
if
like that.
they had kept their little greedy mitts out of it. But no, we can't have that. That's money that's just sitting there for the people. We can't let them have that.
Now when they do stimulus for the economy, it's the money's earmarked for certain things, and the way that you have to qualify for it, and et cetera, can be very difficult for smaller communities to even get the big amounts of money that they would need to build roads and things, real infrastructure like they built during the New Deal, where they were putting in drainage, bridges, and et cetera.
Well, now there's all the environmental shit and all of that just to fix a road. I mean, they talk about the concrete guys. They have all these restrictions put on them, but the asphalt guys can go and pour oil on the fucking road. I mean,
Well, see, that's it. My husband drives a concrete truck. My husband drives a concrete truck. When he gets to, and he does they get a lot of where they go out and do for the state. And when they get out there, there's the guy that tests the concrete from the state, and he will test it, see whether or not it's good, if it's the right slump. I don't know if anybody knows what that means. And if it's not the right slump, then they send it back. Yeah. Or if it's too hot, they send it back. But sometimes they might, because you don't want bad concrete, or they send it back. And sometimes, but if not, somebody's got to pay for that. How many times that stuff's sent back? How many times that stuff's sent back? But then there's a state guy who does stand out there to make sure when that concrete is poured, it's poured right.
And all the research that goes into the formula that they make before all of this is done. They have a formula made as to what the concrete will be before the job even starts.
Right. And sometimes the state guy is getting his pockets lined too, though. And I'm not saying that in your case, Cindy, but around here, they get their pockets lined quite a bit.
I don't know that. My husband works for Ernst Concrete, which is, I'm sure you guys know who that is. So they're nationwide, but they I don't know, because Ernst then pours for the contractor. So if he is, he's getting that through the contractor, not through us. That'd be something he's doing with the contractor.
Right, Cindy. It would be something that they would do with the contractor. And
the contractor, not with us, yeah.
Yeah, the state guy would be out there testing this crappy cement, saying it was fine. And, nobody else would be the wiser.
Right.
They had a deal a while back that they caught some state police here, I don't know how it goes in other states, but when they move big pieces of equipment down the interstate, they have to have state police or an escort to follow them, and they hire the state police a lot of times. But and there was this one guy that was suspended from being a trooper at one point, but they were still letting him do escorts. And what they caught him doing was he would go to whoever was in charge of the escort that day and ask for the $500. Or no, this is what happened. He was off one day. Somebody took his spot, and the guy came up to the other officer to give him the $500 cash that he had to pay him every time. And the cop was like, well, this, you don't pay me $500 cash. That's all taken care of with the permits that you got. But sure enough, that's what that guy was doing, was taking extra cash, to do these escorts for these people. And they weren't any, they didn't know any better. They just paid him, $500. Okay. They just gave him the money, and here he is suspended. We're doing all of these escorts and stuff, making buku bucks on the side that he's not even supposed to be earning. I think he ended up getting fired. They may have let him.
That's one thing too, is you're supposed to have a permit. I don't know why you need a permit, but you're supposed to have a permit to move the big equipment through a state, or through a city, even if it's on the interstate. So you need this permit to drive through their city. I guess in case you have a wreck. I don't know what the permit's for.
Well,
but if you don't get the permit, then you're not supposed to drive through there.
That would want to run into it to do insurance fraud. That's why they do it.
So we have a friend who works for a company that moves these big trucks all the time, from job to job. Well, they was not wanting to move you buy the permits because they're very expensive. So they were kind of using back roads and different stuff. You can't be moving that big stuff on back roads.
Sure you can.
So
just don't get caught.
Where you
it's too dangerous. So then they just decide, okay, well, we'll just start going down the interstate and taking our chances. And it's like, I still don't understand the point of the permits, but you can't. I mean, because if you get a vehicle coming the other direction, and that's where you get more dangerous. It's like, you don't have no big vehicles, no business with those things on back roads.
Well, no, it's the ones that are going in the same direction that want to turn 20 feet in front of you after they dive in front of you because there's no traffic behind them, but they have to get ahead of you.
Hey, I want to answer.
You've got 120,000 pounds of fucking truck and machine that you're hauling, and these little four-wheelers think that you're able to stop because it's a big truck.
Hey, let me answer Taze real quick. He says, in an old English census, I found an ancestor living in a poorhouse. There was actually such a thing. Yeah, you know what? I found a relative that said spinster next to her name. Poor thing. She was like 19. And I guess, I don't know, I don't think she was a part of the family, but she was a girl that was living with the family. And that was her title, spinster.
Damn.
Yes, sir.
Yes.
19 years old and a spinster.
I come from an Amish background. My father was Amish. And then he left the church. And in that community, if you're not married by 21, you're a spinster. Yes. By 21, you need, because they figure by then some guy should have accepted you.
Well,
everyone should have a spouse by 21.
I have been. Is that you, Wilma? Are you the spinster, or you're the one living in the poorhouse? I have been really having a good time doing this family research. I've gotten most everybody back. I think as far back as I can go without paying the more expensive subscription to get into the English records or the records from other countries.
You can also get like an advocate that'll dive even deeper. I mean, because they can get access to even more records and stuff.
Sasquatch, who are you talking to here? Records? You think I can't get
by 21? By 21 in the Amish community, you could have had 3 kids.
My bad.
So you're definitely a spinster if you didn't got. You could have 3 kids by 21.
I stand corrected, Teresa. Please forgive me.
I'm going to make a big trip to Mississippi to find a grave site. I've just been really fascinated with this stuff. They have like land records listed, and you can get some the draft cards are listed. And then the census, you can see those, and which is really neat. Like my grandfather, I have a grandfather that was in, I have two grandfathers that were in World War One, and I have,
Retiring.
great uncles that were in World War II and stuff. And then I have, even further back, Civil War, my great great grandfather was a Civil War, no, a World War One veteran. But I do have,
Wait,
relatives that were in the Civil
Our
War. Only
very
one
own
Union so far.
Ancestry.com, Teresa.
Only one Union soldier so far. All the rest were from the South.
Confederate.
where do I find an obituary? How can I get a hold of an obituary?
You can search obituaries online, and sometimes that'll put you.
I can't find it. I mean,
You
how do I search it? Maybe I'm not looking the right place.
search the name with obit and maybe the area, the name of the
It's
city.
not coming up. But I know he's dead.
Maybe you have the wrong city or something.
No,
But
I know where he
there are
lives.
some national databases that, I know
He's
that
an uncle. He's a great uncle.
in
Well,
Ancestry, they have some national databases that'll go through the obits for you.
See, I can't find it, but I know he's dead. I just can't find it.
Well, there's going to be a death certificate. How long ago
maybe
did he
he
die?
faked his death.
No,
How
I
long
know
ago?
he's dead.
He's still living
How long ago,
No.
Cindy? How
in
long
the
ago did he die?
Ukraine.
He's been dead 21 years.
Yeah, his social security records will probably be available. You just need to tap into the right database, but maybe like somebody like Ancestry can help you with that or something like that.
Yeah. I just
Name
want
and
to
a
see if
date of
he.
birth is you need a name and a date of birth usually to kind of figure it out.
I
But
know
if
the name. I don't know the date of birth.
you know
Good
his
evening,
parents or his brothers and sisters, and you get on Ancestry, you
I
can.
know his kid. I know his wife and his kids.
That might help. But that's kind of how you track them down. The date of birth. You know about where they lived, those kinds of things, and then you can find them in the census or
Yeah, I know all
whatever.
that. I just want to read the obituary. I just want to see if one particular thing was put in the obituary. I'm just being nosy. I just want to see if once something was put in the obituary.
I don't know. I've looked at some of the obituaries from my ancient relatives, and they were just really short. They weren't like they are today. A line and a half long. They were really short. They listed their mother and father who preceded them, and their husband and children. That was about it.
But
Tarquin
this man had
turned
a child that was killed at the age of 3, and then after that they pretty much just acted like this kid never existed.
Darren nailed it.
And so we kind of was wondering. I mean, it's none of my business if he put the kid in the obituary. I mean, it's totally stupid to look.
There's an obit for the child. Usually there is. I mean, usually
They didn't even put it.
obit.
They were
Usually,
really poor when the kid died, but then they became quite well-to-do, and they still never put a headstone on this kid's lot. The
maybe it's
kid,
too hard for them to remember. Maybe it's too difficult for them to.
I don't know. I'm just noticing.
I put a big headstone and pieces of granite and a very nice grave site for my daughter. And I have to tell you, I've been out there, since she's been gone, and it's been about 8 years now. I've probably been out there 5 times. It is very, very difficult for me to go out there. It's very hard for me to,
I know. I have
see
two. I
that.
have two.
So
I had
I
2
can
stillborn.
imagine other parents may have trouble, the same. It is just really hard to go out there and just to have to
Right.
see a rock, and know that
Yeah.
your
My husband
loved ones
cannot
are
go to
there
his
under a big
mother's.
rock.
He just cannot go to his mother's. He just can't. But I have 2 stillborn children. And so yeah, I know that it's sometimes you just can't. If you do, you can't move on sometimes. So yeah, I
Oh
understand
my
that.
God.
So my
Night
kids were
Crawler Media
born
has
2
a hell
years
of a
apart.
video out.
Neither made it.
How you doing, El Sancho? El Sancho, I want you to tell us what size shoe you wear, if you don't mind, if that's not me being too nosy. I'm gonna guess you wear a 9.5. but that's just a guess.
Stallbird, he's dead. We're not allowed to talk about him. Just like when the child died, you're not allowed to talk about them. Well, now he's dead. We're not allowed to talk about him. You're not even though he's an uncle, you're not allowed to talk about the dead. Once they're dead, they're gone.
I got to watch Sancho's his audit. Sorry, Sancho, but I could see your feet. It was like just the tip of your feet, and I was like, his feet look tiny. But I'm surprised that it was a size 11. We were kind of joking. I was watching it with somebody the other night, and we're kind of joking about how you had tiny feet.
Yeah, that's a disturbing video there from Nightcrawler Media.
Oh God! Oh God! Who watches him?
I do.
Isn't that the one from Crud?
Yeah.
Isn't he the one that has his house burned up or something?
I don't know about that.
I don't know if anybody in the chat knows. Yeah, Find a Grave. That's another good one. They have a lot of a database with lots of grave sites in it.
That's a good idea.
Yeah, I just watched a little bit of it, and police ran over this.
Hey, that's a really good idea.
Parked on top.
I know.
Unreal.
Thank you, Sancho, for that picture of your foot. I appreciate it.
The camera takes
That's a good idea. I think I can find somebody who knows where that grave is.
That is a humongous foot. That is, I think, one of the biggest feet I've ever seen.
What size does he wear?
He says 11. My husband wears an 11 wide.
I wear an 11.
I wear 13 wide.
Oh, Stallbird. I don't even know if I'm saying that right. That's okay, baby.
Yeah,
I wear an 11. I have a big feet for a lady.
Let me retract what I said about Sancho's little baby, tiny fairy feet. He has giant feet.
What size shoe do you wear, Teresa?
I wear 5.5.
Oh, Lord. How tall are you, Teresa?
5 foot, about 5 foot 1 inch.
Oh, Lord. I could put my hand on your head as a rest.
Yeah. A lot of people like to use me as an armrest.
Yeah,
I'm 5'11".
I'm 6'2".
Wow, Cindy, I never would have guessed you were that tall.
I'm
I know you're
5'11".
Sasquatch. I've met Sasquatch in person before, but I've never.
My
met
daughter
him.
was 6 feet at the age of 14. Yes, I'm 5'11". That's why I said I got big feet. Right?
Are y'all from up north? From Minnesota?
Who?
You.
No, we're in Ohio. You don't know Taryn and Dee bugged me about being from Ohio.
They got big genes like that in Ohio. I know they.
Yeah, we do. We grow big. We put Miracle Grow on the babies when. No, I wasn't even born in Ohio, but I live in Ohio. But yeah, now see, my daughter's tall. Like I said, she was 14 when she quit growing, and she was 6 feet tall. But my husband has very large genes. My husband has an uncle who is 7'2". It is so funny. When I first met him, I'm like, what is he doing? He would have to bend his head to come through the door because your average door is 6'8". And so he couldn't get through the door. When I first met him, I'm like, holy shit, you're huge.
God, giants up there, huh?
Yeah. But she quit growing at the age of 14.
That sounds like...
and she was 6 foot.
Tuck's like fucking huge. He's tall.
I
look up to him. I mean...
Yeah, he is a tall guy. I used to know this guy named Mark Schoenrock. And I worked with him at the casino. He was really, really tall. And he was a real nice guy. He had bought a house close to the casino, and we would go over there. They had a swimming pool, and we'd go over there and hang out with him. And his parents came into town one time, and, we all wanted to meet his parents. And I was asking him before they got there if they were tall, and he was like, yeah, my dad's 6'7", and my brother's 6'5". And he says, my mom, she's the short
Pinned at
one.
the top.
She's 6'1". And I'm like, oh my God, you people are giants. But they only
My
had,
daughter married a guy who's 5'9".
they didn't have 6 fingers though.
And it's really funny when they go to like a charity thing, you know how you have to stand somewhere and get your picture taken. And it cracks me up because they're so uneven. I told her, I said, have him stand on a block or something when you get your picture taken. But she said, then that wouldn't be us. Won't be long, my 3-year-old granddaughter is going to be taller than her daddy. But we grown big in Ohio. Taryn said that's the Ohio State height. Yes, it is. We grown big.
One of the rules in El Sancho's server is no Al Gore.
You know what?
No Al Gore.
He invented the internet.
Tedman
I thought Animal Gore was Al Gore when I went in there one day.
invented Google Plus.
Oh, that's nice.
He kept saying he invented Google Plus. And then when I kept trying to pin him down on it, he finally said, I asked them to invent it.
Right.
I said, then I want to see the email. Well, then he called me a cunt again and told me to go to hell. And so
That was on his old compact computer.
So I guess I'm not going to get to see the email.
From AOL. That was on his old AOL account.
Probably.
Mail.
I still have my AOL account.
Oh my God, Cindy.
I do. And I give it to anybody who wants it. My email that I really don't want them to have it. I give them that email. I do. I still have it.
I think you're
And I give them that. They look at me funny and I said, yeah, I still have it. And so I give them that email.
That was a.
Sancho,
that was
you coming up or what?
That was a big tour.
Why would a mall have a store filled with 50 mannequin heads? Well, because they're practicing decapitation.
Is it the
Or it could be a beauty college. I went to beauty school and we practiced on mannequin heads.
I went to the mall for just before Christmas for the first time in like maybe 10 years. I brought my grandchildren. I gave them some money.
Sancho doesn't like me. And Cindy scares me. You know how much that hurts my feelings? Well, Sancho, if you come up, I'll leave.
No, you won't.
Yes, I will.
I'll block you.
Maybe that's not the real Sancho. Maybe it's the altar Sancho, like the altar.
Maybe this is just one of them sort of nice Cindy sock accounts.
Okay, I'll leave and then Sancho can come up.
He don't want to come up.
It looks like the
That's
Senate.
fine.
It looks like the Senate is.
I won't come up on your panel anymore then.
It looks like the Senate is in the process of certifying the election as we speak.
I am? What'd you say?
The Senate, Cindy.
I thought you said Cindy. I was going to say, I ain't doing nothing. Thank God I get blamed for nothing.
Be quiet for a minute. You might hear something.
I only have one ear. So I am having a hell of a time hearing. I only have one ear.
Listen through your spout.
I got water in my ear, and I'll be damned if I cannot get it out or something, and I can only hear. I'm going insane.
Well, look who it is. It's the Bigfoot Sancho.
Okay, I will not talk. I'm muting.
You gonna threaten me, Sasquatch, with taking your gifts of personality away from my show?
Yeah.
And I have to come on yours?
Yeah.
Come on, man.
That's fair.
I don't have my makeup or hair done. I'm on my cell phone. I don't sound like professional like I usually do.
And you only got size 11 feet?
I had to come on.
They're tiny.
I wanted Sasquatch to entertain me tonight. I'm in the chat. There's a lot more cooler people in the chat than up here. No offense, ladies.
Ha ha.
I get lured the fuck up here with a threat by Sasquatch.
Yeah.
So,
I'm not above it.
Are you
I will
currently,
stress
literally, the first thing I said when I came in is I'm here to support the Squatch.
Yeah, I saw that.
are you
I
currently
didn't
doing
say
an
thank
audit,
you, which is my
Sorta?
bad.
Are you currently doing an audit?
I mean, if I was, I wouldn't tell you because you would dox where I was and call the police on me.
Like I would.
So I wouldn't tell you a damn thing. I know you're on that other side. I've heard about you.
You better let me know if you go out doing some crazy audit before you go, just in case you get in trouble. I'm about the only one that can help you get out of it.
There you
Oh,
go,
you're my
Sancho.
advisor. You and Desert are my advisors. I've said that since day one.
There you go, Sancho. Take that. I made you a mod.
I'll make a call, get you out.
Yeah, I appreciate that. No, I'm a nice auditor. I'm not a bad auditor. I haven't been tased yet.
Yeah, I don't foresee you getting arrested.
Right? I mean, I've never been arrested, A, and B, my de-escalation skills are impeccable.
Ooh. Using them $3 words.
I mean, listen, I am more afraid of Sydney Renee than a gun. So that should speak volumes.
Well, a lot of us are scared of Cindy.
You want to tell me why you're afraid of me?
Because
We don't want the finger waggling.
I like to tease you because I love you.
Let me tell you how I can put a cop off guard.
Okay, I'm muting. You guys talk.
When they come up to
Cindy,
you.
I'm teasing you, Cindy. Don't you tease people? Why can't
No,
I tease you?
I'm muting so Sasquatch can talk to you.
No, it's Teresa
I
has
love
something to
you,
say.
Cindy.
Yeah,
What'd you say?
I was going to tell you guys how to put a cop off guard whenever you're doing an audit and he comes up to you wanting to know your identification and blah, blah, blah.
Yeah, you throw a
Just
donut at
say,
it.
no, you say, oh my goodness, you're such a cutie. They sent a cutie over here. That's what I say. And
I've
then
learned.
I'm
Well,
all
you
off
probably
guard.
learned that. You probably learned that from Joe Cole when he asked for oral sex every time.
Well, I don't ever say blow me. I said kick rocks one time when I did an audit.
I remember that.
Yeah, that's about. Yeah, and then I started talking about Nazis and stuff. I went a little wacky.
That was up there in D.C., wasn't it? With those
Yeah,
FBI guys?
It
Talk
turned out
about
to be a pretty
Nazis.
good video. Speaking of Nazis, I was up there with the trained Nazi catcher. And
I'm a Nazi, so you can hang out with me. Tinsman says I'm a Nazi. You can hang out with me.
I didn't know you were German.
Did you know I'm a Nazi?
Well, I didn't
we
even
all
realize
are.
you were German.
Oh, Tinsman says I'm a Nazi. I don't know. I try to keep all this together.
We
Well,
all are.
all the Nazis are up north now. Down south in Antarctica. They have a
I
base
don't
there.
know.
I did have a feel good moment, Teresa, knowing that you're my advisor. Jess, my girlfriend, was actually watching one of your videos, and I kind of smiled inside. It was a good moment. I liked it. In a very drama-filled like community, those kind of good moments are kind of they're precious, And I like the fact that my girlfriend's a big fan of yours and supports your channel, and you have helped me since day one, since my channel got shut down from CFW, and you had my back, and Desert had my back, and I'm forever grateful to you too.
Sasquatch. Oh, it's not Sasquatch. Sancho, are you afraid of me because I'm a foot taller than you?
I'm not afraid of you at all, woman. I was busting your balls.
Well, we want
Watch out.
some
Watch out for
people
Cindy.
want to know if that could be the problem. Is because I'm a foot taller than you.
You are like the grandmother of this community. I would not be
So many
afraid
people
of you
call
at
me
all.
the grandmother.
She's only 22.
I'm only 42.
No, I'm pretty sure.
God,
I'm
Cindy,
pretty sure
10
multiple
years
kids
older
will
than
pop
you.
out of that factory.
Do what now, baby?
I'm almost 10 years older than you.
Say when you say that again. You're pretty sure it's what?
I'm pretty sure you've had a couple kids, right? Your grandmother.
I've
Didn't you
had
say your
3
grandmother?
kids.
Didn't you
I've
say
had
your
3
grandmother?
kids and I have 1 living, and I have 2 grandchildren.
I've heard you say that so many times, so I can call
I
you
love
your
my
grandmother.
grandbabies. I love my
Gigi Pam,
grandbabies.
Gigi Pam is the grandmother in the chat, and you're the grandmother on the panel.
Yes, I am. And
There you
Yeah.
go.
I'm 52. I lied.
Ooh, Jeff
Listen,
Gray has another
Cindy's older
video
than
out.
me now.
age is only a number. It's all about how
Cindy's
you feel.
older
And
than me now, and I have
I'll
more
be
grandchildren.
yes, and I'll be 53 March 2nd, Sanchez. March 2nd.
I'll be
Okay.
37 February 1st.
Oh, you lie. You're older than that.
February
Ooh.
1st.
How old did you
I'm
say
a
you were?
young 37. I'm a young blue-eyed stallion, everybody.
Oh my God, I have
37.
a 34-year-old daughter. You're a baby.
I know I am.
Jeff
You need to
Oh
Gray
my
gets
coddle me.
gosh.
steadfast.
I need to be coddled in this community, okay?
34. Good night. I mean 37. You're just a baby.
I have a daughter you would like. That's well, I know you're taken now. I'm gonna have to jump on that next time before. Not with you
Now I
necessarily.
do feel like a grandma Sancho's on in its 30s.
I need to find my daughter a good man.
Yeah.
Sasquatch?
I'm 58.
She's
Hey, I have two
she's a little too young for you, Sasquatch.
Pat Sagan.
She's 29.
Taco Josh.
Taco Josh.
Goofy. Just stay the hell away from me.
Would you care to meet some
Goofy
crazy
looks
lady
too much like
me?
Blind Justice, though.
Yeah, my daughter's 1,000 times crazier than me. Y'all would love her. She's awesome.
Auditing America.
No,
Oh, that's not right.
Auditing America.
How old is your daughter?
Let me meet your daughter and see if she has
she's 29.
Oh. How about Mouse?
How about no?
You know what I'm saying, Cindy?
Oh, I got a
What,
bone
baby?
pick about Mouse.
What, Sancho's? You don't like the idea of
giving him
Mouse?
money.
Most need to stay away from women, period. Women, men, children, animals. He needs to stay away from any orphans, period, for the rest of his life.
There's a woman out there from Mouse somewhere.
As long as
over
she's
40.
plastic.
If you're watching Mouse, she's over 40. Okay.
Mouse only needs a plastic or styrofoam, a plastic woman. You know, one of those
Exactly.
shit will come in the mail
Listen.
and blow
No.
up. Or
Cindy knows. Cindy
Mouse
knows
needs a
about
metal
both.
one. It's about the
They will-
size of a 45.
Listen, this is what Mouse needs. Listen, Cindy's on a really good trail here. They make what's called pocket pussies. And they literally,
Yes.
they're porn stars who take molds of their vagina and they put it into a clay-like, vagina-like, literally material where it feels like you're fucking a real vagina.
No.
Yes.
No.
Look on Hustler. Look on Hustler. He could get one.
Mouse needs a 45, and he can do it himself and pull the trigger. That's what Mouse needs.
Well, my Merv has a wife.
He's a fucking baby raper.
That was my first option. But if that option wasn't available, a pocket pussy is the safest option besides, like Teresa and Cindy saying a real woman. So I should get more points because I said a fake pussy.
And then these people playing that little fucking troll, fucking Masshole Report and Desert Sentinel, saying they gave him $10 for advertising. Well, they're making him work for it. You know what? You're still supporting a sexual predator, even if he does have to work for it. I mean, the optics are bad. They're Masshole Kate and Desert Sentinel. I'm sorry, but no.
Sasquatch, he does still have to eat. He does.
I don't care. He could go find a job.
Let him starve to death. Me and Teresa, the last
No,
time
Teresa. Teresa, I'm going
to.
Teresa, I'm going to agree with Sasquatch on this. If he needs to eat, tell him to go pick up aluminum cans. No, if you give him $10, then you are supporting him. If he needs to eat, tell him go pick up aluminum cans. If he needs to eat, go up there to the homeless shelter. If he needs to eat, go to McDonald's and get a job.
Yo,
And
He
the
put
that's
Lord
himself
said,
in this
cool.
and the
position.
Lord said, I came to you and I was hungry and you turned me away.
But the
And I
Lord
came
also
to you
said,
and I
don't
was
rape women.
thirsty and,
The
and you
Lord
turned
also
me
said, don't
away.
rape women.
That's what
Okay, there's a new book in the Bible, Cindy 1:1. And Cindy 1:1 says, don't rape women.
there you
Cindy
go.
1:2
Get
says,
that.
go
I get
figure out
that.
how to eat yourself. Cindy
and
1:3
I get
said,
Cindy's a
that.
part
we're
of
not
that.
supporting your
and
ass.
that
See,
is my opinion.
I grew up in a Puerto Rican neighborhood where if you didn't finish the plate, you would get belted. You know, like obviously Sydney's not Puerto Rican, but she's kind of like that Puerto Rican grandmother who just makes up her own rules and snaps her whip and beat the shit out of you. I love it. I fucking love
In
it.
in this in the Cajun community, you share your food, and when someone comes over, that's something that you always make sure that they have something to eat. And I guess
Now, see,
maybe I wouldn't to me
okay,
I wouldn't give him money to do. I wouldn't give him $50 so that he'd have enough money to eat and buy whatever else. But
okay, now, Teresa, you're correct.
to get to say, he needs a pizza, or somebody sends him a pizza, or somebody sends him $10, and we know from watching him that he uses it to eat. I'll freaking phone. I'll be right back.
Oh my god, the professionalism.
Okay, now, on
Can't
that
believe she
aspect,
hosted
Teresa is
those in the
correct.
film.
My
What?
grandmother always said that you keep a can of tomato soup, a big can of tomato soup in the house, and you always keep bread. That way, if somebody shows up and you wasn't expecting them, you're always able to feed them dinner because everyone can eat tomato soup and grilled cheese. So, in that aspect, it's correct. But I
That's
have
right,
a very
Cindy.
hard time
I'm not
with a
talking about by
rapist.
mistake or anything like that. I'm not talking about, paying for him an apartment or anything like that. People have to eat though, and I guess that's one thing that I don't, really care what kind of a piece of shit you are.
But
I'm
also,
sure
if you
that you
don't eat, if you don't work, you don't eat. I was raised on that philosophy. If you don't work, you don't eat. My daddy would have me out of bed all summer long at 6 a.m. You work in the garden before it gets hot. And my daddy's favorite statement is, you don't work, you don't eat.
some
And that was
people
like
were
at 10
some
years old.
people
You
were
don't work,
raised
you don't eat.
some people were raised by wolves, and their
Well, that's
parents
true
weren't
too.
as good as your
Well,
parents
they had to
were.
work to get their food too.
Well,
Hey,
maybe they
I'm gonna
didn't.
go
Maybe
hop.
they begged and borrowed and stealed, and that's how he learned.
I'm gonna go hop in the shower. I am thoroughly enjoying this
Are you
ladies'
taking
night
your
right now.
camera?
Yeah,
Keep
go
up the
ahead and
great
bring the
job,
camera
ladies.
in there. Yeah, go ahead and
I
bring the camera in there.
I love this ladies' night panel. Keep it up, ladies. Great job.
Take your camera with you.
We'll be waiting. I got a picture of his naked foot.
Well,
Take your foot.
like I said, it's just my opinion, and I mean, I don't think it's right, but
I can understand why you'd feel that way. I sure can understand.
I mean,
Uh, you both are
it,
correct. You both are very correct. But it's very hard under his circumstances. But you are correct, Teresa, that no one should go hungry. And if he was standing at my door and he did need food, um, I suppose I would feed him.
Yeah, me giving
Um,
him a bite to eat doesn't mean
but
he's gonna get
again,
in and using my shower or sleeping on my sheets or anything like
but
that.
again,
no,
I'm
Giving
not gonna.
somebody
I'm
food
not
is.
gonna.
wouldn't come in the house.
I'm just not gonna
No,
hand him money.
I had somebody pass by my house the other day and ask my husband, "Do you have anything to eat?" Swear to God, the guy. I guess they walk back and forth. The hospital's not far from here, and they walk from the south side of town, and they cut through the street to get to the hospital. And I swear to God, he asked my husband, "Do you have something to eat?" My husband runs inside and grabs a bag of chips and one of those peanut butter and jelly sandwiches, that you can get. I don't know if you have ever seen those before, but they're in the freezer. He grabbed him the chips and the sandwich and a soda and brought it out there to him. But
But see, now that's one thing we have a philosophy. My husband and I do. If you are holding a sign even alongside the road, that you're hungry, we're going to turn around and we're going to go to a fast food restaurant. We're bringing you food. We're not handing you money. If someone mentions that they need money for an electric bill, Give me your electric bill. I'm going to pay the electric bill. I'm not handing you money.
That's a much
You
better
tell
way
me
to do
your
it.
need and I'll take care of it that way. I'm not handing you money
It's always a
because
much better
I'm
way of
not
doing it.
letting you take that money and put it up your nose or drink it down your belly. If you have a need, I'll take care of it that way because I'm not handing you cash.
At the store, we had plate lunches every day, and so like if I had somebody that came in that was hungry, I could feed them there. I had food to give them, if you know what I mean. Here at the
Right.
house, I don't just like keep snacks for people walking by. That's the first time I've ever had anything like that happen before, but usually they want cigarettes. You got a cigarette? you know, this guy wanted food, so he looked hungry.
Yeah, last summer there was this guy, and it's like he was such a con. He was sitting there holding a sign, hungry, need food. So we whirled back and went to Arby's and just got him like some little meal, with he's got sandwich, fries, and a drink. And we whirled back over and I jumped out and I handed him and I said, here's something to eat. He said, thank you. And when I jumped out and got up close to him, I could see on the other side of him that you couldn't see driving by. He had a stack of fast food bags that you could tell were full. People was dropping him off food and he wasn't eating them. That guy wasn't wanting food. He was hoping people was going to be handing him cash. He had a stack of fast food
It's
bags.
always a chance you take.
Oh,
It's
yeah,
always
you have
a
to
chance you
take the
take.
chance. I told my husband, I said, well, we tried. That's all we can do. But I said, you could tell with all that food, he wasn't wanting food. But at least we tried. I said, maybe he'll take the food and he's saving it for later. Or hard to tell. But I said, right now, he's not eating that food.
Well, I can't help but feel sorry for people like, that, especially people that say they're hungry. I don't think people with so much food on the planet should ever be hungry.
Down in Dayton, city down from where I live, they're having to actually sort of regulate the situation because people are standing on the off ramps. And this one guy, the news made a story about him. Is he says he has an apartment, he has a car, the whole 9 yards, and he says he won't get a job because he can make more money a day panhandling than he would if he worked.
I agree, Golden Eyes, wholeheartedly.
It is very difficult because he does not make himself very sympathetic.
Which is
I,
why
I
I feel the way I feel.
I would agree with that. He does not make, and
Correct.
I'm not a big fan, of his either.
I mean,
But
he,
at
they,
the,
they,
at
they,
the
they
end of the
feel
day,
they feel that way about David Earl, but Mouse is okay.
no, I don't
I
feel.
mean,
I,
the optics
I
are
wouldn't.
there.
I understand what you're saying, and yeah, you're probably right about that. But even if Earl was hungry, I wouldn't let him stay hungry, and the same goes for Mouse. Does that mean that I'm
I
going to
changed my
support any
opinion a
other thing
lot.
that they do? No, hell no. But at the end of the day, no matter what, they're still human beings, and whether I like it or not, whether I want them to be or not, they are. And you know, if they're hungry, then I'm gonna help them eat.
But I changed my opinion a lot on Mouse when Mouse's son came out and started talking. Of course, Mouse is a predator. Mouse is a rapist. But when Mouse's son came out and started talking and started telling the age of his mother for his delivery, and it's like, Mouse, this was not a one-time thing for you. You like 15-year-old girls. Because when his son came out and started telling that she conceived at 14 and delivered at 15,
Yeah, Mouse has been a piece of shit for a long, long
it's
time.
like, this was not a one-time thing. You just like little kids.
And I would imagine that it's a cycle that he lived through on, from his own parents. I don't know that he was, terribly abused or what have you. But I think
Yeah,
that
so
they
it's
were
like
just kooky, just as
this is
kooky
a
as he was.
habit. Yeah, yeah.
They were kooky, and that led him to think that he could just do whatever the hell I guess he wanted. I can imagine his parents were into conspiracy theories and things like that. I mean, that comes from somewhere, and I'm sure they probably excused him for a lot of the things that he did over his lifetime. He wasn't just, he didn't just turn into a freak overnight. But yeah,
Right.
his brain is warped, and it may probably never be fixed. He'll always think like a wacko. But he's still got to eat. He's still got to eat. I
It's
know
sad.
some people would like to just see him starve to death and wither away. But sometimes when he hasn't eaten for a few days and you can tell he's pretty hungry, then I do feel sorry for him.
But like Golden said, he can afford the Wi-Fi. You have to prioritize. You have to prioritize. I have a sister who I don't want to call. Well, I guess you'd call her slow. She's mentally challenged of some kind. I don't know what you'd call her. She she fell she fell off a very tall slide, and she fell directly on top of her head. And mom and dad, she was never the same. So she's kind of, I guess we call her slow.
Brain damage.
But she has a type of brain damage. Yeah, she's just not right. But she's able to now live in her own apartment. After mom and dad died, we was able to get her set up, and she's able to live in her own apartment now. But you know what? When you go in there, you have to make sure that she's prioritizing things so that the bills are paid. And you have to make sure like the house is clean. And well, now we got it set up to where she can have people come in, like a nurse and a house cleaner and stuff like that, to help her. But you still have to make sure that things are prioritized. If you can afford the table, but then you better be able to afford the food.
Yes,
She wanted a
please.
cat, so if you can afford cat food, you have to be able to afford, pay everything else. Um, if she's going to be able to live on her own, she has to be able to prioritize how her bills go. And she's doing really well, living on her own. We got it set up to where she had a job that she could stay home and do computer work.
Hey,
But
Tony, I go to Eunice a couple of times a week. And where's the other one? Lafayette. I try to stay away from there, but I do occasionally go to Lafayette. You should do the one in Crowley.
There you go, Teresa.
Yeah, no, yeah, Golden Eyes, you're right. He seems to come up with money to pay for that Wi-Fi every month. He seems to come up. He must be getting some money from the government. He must be getting the 885 or whatever it is for SSI. I'm guessing, to be able to pay for the stuff that he
he
has.
was
I'm
in the
guessing.
military,
Yeah, but that doesn't mean anything. I think
so
did
shouldn't he
he
get?
shoot himself in the foot or broke his ankle or something on purpose. It
Well, I
seems
don't know
like
how long. Yeah, I
he
was to say
washed
whether or
out.
not he get military
He
money.
washed out, and he wasn't smart enough to do like Sneed and get himself some disability payments. So that kind of wiped that out. Plus, he's a sex offender, so he doesn't qualify for probably any sort of Section 8 housing or anything like that. And who knows what
That's
kind of
true.
drug charges he has on, his record, which means, he probably doesn't qualify for any student loans or anything like that. I mean, he's pretty much
I don't think
fucked.
he was in the military long enough to retire, anyways.
No, definitely not. Definitely
No,
not.
no, no.
The only,
Like Sneed, he wasn't in the military very long
yeah,
at all.
he washed out. I think his son maybe after said maybe 2 years or something.
That's also true, Bama. Is
I
he
don't
also
even
has
think he
money
was
for
that long.
cigarettes and weed?
He does.
Yeah.
He does have money for cigarettes and weed. I had a lot of people, and he's gross and all of that stuff. But I had a lot of people that used to come into my store, and I guess maybe when you get to know them as people, and they're just really, it's just sad that that's their whole life is drinking beer and a little. Oh, did you hear that? Did you hear that?
Yeah,
What
This
is that?
big old thunder scared the
that took your
shit
that
out
took
of
your
me.
that took your mic out. It overmodulated.
Wow.
Is that at your house?
Yes. Yeah, everybody's freaking out. What was that?
That was pretty close.
Holy
Are you
moly.
storming?
Yeah. Is it raining?
The Russians are bombing
Yeah, it
us.
just started raining. Oh no. I hope it wasn't a bomb. I'm pretty sure it
Good
was
night.
thunder. I'm pretty sure it was thunder though, y'all.
Are y'all supposed to be storming tonight, I take it?
We're getting a cold front. It's supposed to be really cold in the morning, so
Okay, what's really cold for you?
I think it's supposed to be in the 30s.
Okay, that's what we got. I didn't know y'all got that cold.
Yeah, occasionally. In the, in the January months and stuff, it'll get pretty cold here. Sometimes, like, down into the teens occasionally. Sometimes we have freezes, but they're even saying maybe we'll have snow on Sunday.
Yeah, there's a big storm rolling through Louisiana right now.
Are y'all getting snow on Sunday,
Bunch of
Sasquatch?
yellow and reds. No, it's like clear here. Let me see what the 10-day forecast says. Clear, sunny, partly cloudy, 50% chance of rain on Sunday with a low of 33. So we might, but that's still Sunday. And with a high of 46 that day.
Tony the Tyrant Hunter, let me know when you're going to be in Crowley redoing the Sonic there. I'll make my way through there and I'll look at all the people that are working. I'll be in a blue Corolla.
We don't have no snow predicted for forever.
If you guys like onion rings, I highly recommend Sonic. They have some
Oh man, they have
awesome onion rings.
They have the best. I know the recipe.
Man, I mean, they're even better than a bloomin' onion, I think.
They're fantastic. They're the best.
I've never been to Sonic.
They use ice cream milk to dredge them. That sweet flavor that you get in those onion rings.
Ooh.
They use big wide pieces of onions and they pull out the skin on the inside.
Oh, that sounds good. You make me hungry. Stop.
They put them in the ice cream milk and then they bread them with cookie crumbs that are like this kind of cookie kind of crumb. It's a different crumb. And then they fry them like that. You dredge them twice though. Milk, breading, and then the fryer. Oh my God, they're so good.
Yes, they are.
You can do shrimp like that too, which is also really good. But instead of using the cookie crumbs or whatever, you can use coconut. Oh my God, that's good.
That would not be on my diet.
I did a fish fry one time where we had a bunch of fish and we deep fried it. And, I made the batter. It was out of crusty pancake mix, and I dumped a bunch of dill seed in the pancake mix and mixed it up. And we dipped the fish in that, threw it in a deep fryer. Ooh, that turned out really good.
That does sound good.
I have to go on a diet, and I have to quit eating starches, pastas, and potatoes, and everything white flour, white sugar, bread. I don't know. I have to figure out what I have to quit eating.
Check into South Beach Diet, Cindy.
Into what?
The South Beach Diet. Just type it in your address bar up at the top of your computer and check it out. That's what I'm on right now, is the South Beach Diet.
I like hush puppies. One of my favorite things in the world.
I don't know how I'm supposed to live without potatoes. Who can not eat potatoes?
Oh, it's easy. You just don't eat them.
I don't know. My husband is a meat and potatoes guy.
Now I'm hungry.
Yeah, me too.
And I'm not supposed to eat no more than 2 cups of food at a time.
Cucumber sandwiches are pretty good. I
I love cucumber sandwiches.
And the fried green tomatoes. That kind of reminds me of a cucumber sandwich, I guess. Those are good.
I've never had fried green tomatoes. They're
really actually pretty good. You'd be surprised.
I like
Well,
fried
it's kind of-
zucchini.
Yeah, well, it's kind of like that. It's kind of like eating a squash or a zucchini.
Cool.
Kind of slice it.
For Thanksgiving, for Valentine's Day, we're going to take my son-in-law's grandmother, who is 86. There's a place down down, I don't know, it's like 30 minutes away or so, where they actually serve high tea. Um, and so we're going to take her down there. It's something that she loves to do. And she just lost her husband, so we thought it would kind of cheer her up as much as you can cheer someone up in that situation. And when you get there, you can get a hat, like they do in England, wear all that stuff. And they serve the cucumber sandwiches, and they have all these beautiful dishes. And we're going to take her there to try to, cheer up as much as you can. It's not terribly expensive. It's just something kind of nice to kind of try to, cheer her up a little bit because she's really fighting big depression. They was married 60 years.
Hush Puppies does make a good shoe. I don't know. Are they even still in business?
No, here, let me Google it. Hush Puppy shoes. I'm,
All right, I gotta get off, you guys. I got some stuff to do here for the family. For the family.
Hush Puppy shoes, yeah.
I'm going to make a tuna salad sandwich with a slice of sharp cheddar cheese.
That
You can
sounds
still
good.
get you a Hush Puppy shoe.
You should put that on the grill and grill it on both sides with that cheese.
Now, I'll put day old pizza on the barbecue to heat it up. That's good.
Yeah, that's good. That's good.
Yeah, you put the pizza on the grill?
Yeah.
I like heating pizza up in the oven too, like reheating it because it makes the crust so good.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I'll put it in the oven. I've
it's
never
better.
seen you
It's
put it on the
better on the
grill.
grill though, because then you get the smoke from all the barbecue
Yeah, I can
flavorings and
imagine.
stuff on it. Much better. Good night, Golden Eyes.
All right, y'all. Good night. I'm going to find something to eat now. Thanks a lot. I'll talk to you
All
later.
right. Well, I'll end the stream then. And we'll tell everybody good night and thanks for showing up. I appreciate it. Teresa, Cindy, thanks for coming on here. And El Sancho
Alrighty.
and everybody in chat. Thanks a bunch.
Alrighty, we'll talk to you later.
Okay, bye.